When you think about the whole quantum revolution, you probably imagine this loud, high stakes race, right? You've got nations and big corporations all shouting about their latest breakthroughs, fighting for the spotlight, and just sprinting towards what they call quantum dominance. But what if there's another way to do it? A quieter, more precise path? Okay, let's dive into how one country is choosing that exact route, placing precision way above publicity.
This one phrase, honestly, it just perfectly captures Austria's entire philosophy on quantum. It's a really powerful counter-narrative to everything else we see. Instead of just trying to run the fastest, they're focused on building a solid, trustworthy foundation that actually influences the direction the technology itself is going to take. It's a strategy that's built from the ground up on integrity.
And the difference in approach is just, it's stark. On one side, you have the usual global race. It's all about speed, getting seen, chasing those headlines. But on Austria's side, the focus is totally different. It's on precision, scientific integrity, a kind of quiet, steady continuity. And maybe most important of all, building trust. This is a long-term game for them, not some short-term sprint.
So, you have to ask, how can a smaller nation build such a powerful reputation in a field this competitive? Well, it all starts with a deep historical legacy in science. See, this isn't some new fad for them. It's built on decades and decades of world-class research. And right at the very center of that legacy is one name, Anton Zeilinger. As a Nobel laureate and a true quantum visionary, his work hasn't just pushed the field forward. It's cemented Austria's reputation on the global stage. That kind of leadership creates this culture of excellence that naturally attracts international partners, and, you guessed it, fosters that all-important trust. And that culture is absolutely thriving in these top-tier institutions. We're talking about the universities in Vienna and Innsbruck, plus real powerhouses like EuroQCI and the Austrian Institute of Technology. These places form the bedrock of the country's entire strategy. They are the engine that's driving the science forward. But look, great research is one thing. To make a real-world impact, you need serious resources. That's how you get from the lab to actual national infrastructure. You know, turning a strategy document into steel, fiber, and silicon. And they're definitely putting their money where their mouth is. The Quantum Austria Initiative is this massive $100 million investment framework. And this isn't just a grant, it's a crystal clear signal that quantum technology is a national priority. This huge investment is built on a really clear three-pronged approach. First, they're going to keep pushing the boundaries of fundamental research. Second, they're conducting real-world trials in quantum communication. And third, they're investing directly in hardware, especially in the areas where they already have a clear advantage. And this isn't just about abstract goals on paper. We are talking about real, tangible projects. Things like building entangled photon networks in major cities, expanding their world-class research hubs, and even piloting ultra-secure quantum random number generators in their national digital ID systems. This is where theory really becomes reality. Now, this national focus doesn't happen in a vacuum. Not at all. In fact, Austria's strategy is designed to make it an absolutely indispensable part of a much bigger picture, the whole European quantum ecosystem. Their entire European strategy really hinges on one key concept, becoming a trusted node. Think about it. Because of its neutrality and its deep scientific integrity, Austria is positioning itself as a secure hub that other nations can actually depend on. It's a pretty brilliant geopolitical and technological move. And this integration is backed by some serious cash. That national Quantum Austria investment gets amplified by another 50 million euros in EU support since just 2023 alone. So they aren't just participating in Europe's quantum future, they are a central and very well-funded part of it. Their influence really spreads through these critical partnerships all across the continent. They're helping build Europe's secure communication network, they're contributing to NATO initiatives, and they're even advising G7 nations on how to build quantum trust frameworks. Basically, if there's an important conversation happening about quantum in Europe, Austria is at the table. So, okay, Austria has world-class science, and they're a trusted partner. But that leads to the biggest question of all. Can they actually translate all that academic excellence into commercial success? This is their central challenge right now.
And the stakes here are perfectly clear. On one hand, the opportunities are just immense. They lead in key technologies like ion traps, and their trusted status is a huge asset. But the challenges are just as real. Commercialization has been slow, the startup ecosystem is still pretty small, and they struggle to keep the top-tier talent that they produce.
So where do they go from here? Let's look at their roadmap for the future, which, you'll see, doubles down on this identity as that quiet, influential champion that is just methodically shaping the route forward. They have a very clear step-by-step plan. By 2025, those quantum random number generators we talked about will be piloted in public systems. By 2027, the plan is to expand their secure quantum networks across borders to neighboring countries. And looking beyond that, their big goal is to be a quiet but powerful influence on Europe's entire post-quantum future. And remember that talent challenge? They're tackling their biggest weak spot head on. A new national workforce strategy is aimed squarely at fixing that gap between the lab and the market, creating clearer pathways for brilliant PhDs to move right into industry.
So, in the end, Austria is making a bet, a big one. They're betting that in the long run, being the most trusted partner is way more valuable than being the loudest one. And this brings us to a really profound final question. As quantum technology becomes more and more woven into our society, will that quiet integrity ultimately prove to be more powerful than just loud ambition?